everyone, it's Meridy here with Not Just for Boys, and I am here today because I think it is time that Not Just for Boys needs an official introduction video on our YouTube channel. As new people find us and follow us, I'm starting to get asked some of the same questions, over and over that I don't really address in every single video I'm making, such as where I get my pictures printed or my favorite adhesives, things like that. So this is gonna be a real basic introduction video. I'm gonna kind of introduce myself, tell you how Not Just for Boys Kit Club came to be, and answer some of the most frequently asked questions that I have during this video today. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to just flip through one of my Disney albums, okay? I'm not even gonna take everything out of the page protector, so it's gonna kind of glare a little bit in this video, but I'm not even talking about the layouts or anything. I literally am gonna flip through it so you just have something to look at while I'm talking, because this is probably gonna be a little bit long. And then every so often I'm gonna pull in things that I wanna show you. So let me see. Okay, as I said, my name is Meridy Twilling, and Paula and I co-own Not Just for Boys Kit Club. So I think I'm gonna start by telling you, just while I flip through this album, this is one of my Disney albums. I think I'm just gonna start telling you that a little bit about me. So I am married and we have 3 kids and we live in Arizona. My daughter is the oldest, and then I have 2 sons. Almost 16-year-old and a 9-year-old, and my daughter's 18. So I mostly am scrapbooking about my family. And when I very first started scrapbooking in the way that we see it today, it was in 1999, so it's been about 26 years almost since I started scrapbooking. And before that, ever since I was little, I had my own camera. I think I got my first camera when I was 9 or 10. And I used to make like old school photo albums, like the kind with the magnetic sheets. And I used to cut pieces out of magazines and letters out of magazines and spell stuff and spell little titles. And that was before I knew anything about scrapbooking at all. And one day I went to my friend's sister's house and she had a baby, and I'm pretty sure it's probably Creative Memories or something, but she had a scrapbook sitting out and I looked through it and saw it and loved it and never ever turned back after that. So when I first started scrapbooking, it was before my kids were born, and I did it just for the aspect of memory keeping. I always made double page layouts. They always had multiple photos. I didn't really have the funds to purchase very many embellishments. Plus, there wasn't embellishments back then like there are now. So my layouts were mainly photos and paper, and they were pretty simple. But over the decades, my scrapbooking has definitely evolved. Of course, I still want to document memories, which is my main motivator, but I love the artistic aspect of scrapbooking. I love all the pretty paper. I love the embellishments. I love using them on my layouts. I love it all. So over the years, I found that I like to work in a format that feels natural and easy for me, which happens to be, I'll explain this in a second, which happens to be 12 by 12 single page layouts with 1 to 3 photos. And a lot of times, if I have a lot of photos, this was the perfect stopping point for this, I will print them as a collage print and either print like this is an 8 by 10, or sometimes I'll do it like the whole 12 by 12. And then just stick them in the other page. Like if it was a 12 by 12, I would just stick it in here. But this one, obviously, I'll add a little bit of paper and embellishments that coordinate with this side. So that's how I can fit more pictures on a page, but still scrapbook in what I'm comfortable with, which is a 12 by 12 layout. As you can see, not all of these pages are scrapbooked. Let me flip to some more that are done here. So I have tons of albums already. It doesn't bother me in the slightest how many layouts I have of a single event. As you can tell, this whole album right here is from one Disney trip. So I'm not really worried if I just scrap one picture and I have a bunch left over. I'll just make another page and stick it in my layout, and yeah, it is what it is. I'm not worried if an event takes 1 layout or 10 layouts. Let me get to some more layouts that are done in here. You'll see the method to my madness here in a minute when I tell you about all that we just skipped through. Oh, I print whatever photos I love, and that's what I do. I don't print all my photos. I'll print my most favorite photo, as a 4x6. I'll print a couple supporting photos as 3x4. If I need a lot more photos, I'll print a collage print, which this is a great example of this album. But sometimes I don't have more photos and it's just 1 or 2 photos of the event. And yeah, I do plan one day on scanning all of my layouts into a computer and hard drive. I know I have so many albums, way too many to pass down to my kids ever. So I really want to get them on a hard drive so they can have them. But I just love creating physical layouts, and it's a huge part of what makes me me. So it is what it is. There's lots of albums. Let's see, what else did I want to tell you? So back to Not Just for Boys. Paula and I met at a crop in 2012, I believe. And I used to make these little layouts for our friends, and we would just do them for fun. And Paula used to always tell me, oh my gosh, you should be doing this for real. Like, you should have a business designing layouts and having people put them together. And for years, it took her to convince me that we needed to start some kind of a kit club. And then we talked about it, and I started, you know, getting a little more confident about doing it. And then we were brainstorming, you know, how our kit club could stand out. And we decided that between the 2 of us, we have 4 boys, and that there is not enough masculine scrapbooking lines out there. And if they are, they're a lot of like babyish ones or very juvenile ones. So we wanted to make a kit club dedicated to masculine kits and making masculine pages, but they're not just for boys, which is why our name is Not Just for Boys, because sometimes we don't want all the pictures of our girls to just be pink and flowers and hearts and purple. So I scrapbook my daughter a ton, and myself, with our Not Just for Boys kits. So that's how Not Just for Boys got started. We opened on Black Friday in 2019, and at the time, both of us lived in the same city, and Paula has since moved to California, so we do not even live in the same state anymore. She does all of our shipping and packaging and customer service and emailing, and I do most of the designing. She designs some stuff too, but I do most of the designing, and then of course the YouTube videos showing how to use the kits and stuff like that. So that's how we divide up the business and make it work. And we fairly seamlessly moved our whole warehouse to California. I don't even know if anyone knew it was happening, any of our customers, when it was happening, because we planned it really well so it didn't disrupt the kits. I am going to jump into some of the questions that I get asked. And the first one is what camera I use and how I take my pictures. So I get asked this a lot. I use my Canon 6D and my 24 to 70 f2.8 lens, and so that's the body, and this is the lens that I use the majority of the time. But then when I'm taking pictures of my kids, especially playing sports, either indoors or outdoors, I use a different lens, my 70 to 200 f2.8 lens. But I have other lenses, but those 2 are my favorite go-to lenses. So those are what are normally on my camera. And my camera is well loved. You can see it's missing things because I use it a lot. I do shoot on manual. I taught myself that years ago, and since I use my camera very often, you know, just like with anything, you have to keep practicing and keep doing it so you don't forget how. So it's like second nature to me to shoot on manual now, because I have more control and over all of the settings, and that's what I love shooting on. I am not saying that you have to shoot on manual by any means. It is a lot of work learning that, so you know, but that's what I do because I get asked that a lot. That said, I also use my iPhone all the time to take pictures. Obviously, it's with me all the time. I used to use my big camera 90% of the time and my iPhone 10% of the time, but I bet now it's 50-50, or maybe even, I might even use my iPhone more than 50% of the time. So basically, I only pull out my big camera for like special events now or holidays, If it's just everyday pictures, I use my iPhone. iPhones and Androids have come so far in their pictures and photography. So I love the way my pictures look using my phone just as much as my big camera. I mean, I can tell the difference, but that's just because I'm really into photography. So, but the phone is just so much easier and faster that I turn to it a lot more now than I ever had before. And the pictures are much better than they were, say, 15 years ago. Okay, so I have some notes here so I don't forget anything. My editing process. People have asked how I edit my pictures. So for my camera editing and culling, I use Picasa, which is a free download on the computer. It is no longer like supported by anything anymore, so it doesn't have updates or anything. I think you can Google and search where you can still download Picasa from, but like I said, it's not supported by anything, so it's kind of hard to figure that out, but I just love it. I make collages on it. Again, it's on my computer, not on my phone, and it's very user-friendly to me. So that's where I cull my pictures, and then I actually edit my pictures from my camera I'm talking about right now in Lightroom. So I have Lightroom on my computer, and I edit my pictures in Lightroom. On my iPhone, my editing, my culling, everything, I either use the photo app on my phone for culling, and then for editing, I use PicTapGo, which is it's free for like the smaller version of that app, and I don't even know. I think there's a monthly fee if you don't have if you want like the upgraded version, but the free version is just fine. I just use a couple basic edits on there, and that is what I use to edit my phone pictures. I mostly just brighten them up and bump up the contrast so that they're a little bit brighter, because I find that my phone takes pictures a little bit dark. Okay, next, my printing process, because a lot of people have asked how, what my printing process is with my pictures. So this is what I do. I upload my phone pictures to my laptop. I've already got my camera pictures on my laptop, so all my pictures are in one place. They're organized in folders by year, and then within the year by month. I have that backed up on 2 external hard drives. I don't really trust a lot of like places to back them up, like websites. So I don't even bother doing that. I just have 2 external hard drives plus my laptop. I print my favorite pictures of whatever it is as 4x6. And I just make a folder and I say, these are what I'm going to print as 4x6. And I put a whole bunch of pictures in there. I don't have layouts in mind. I don't have sketches in mind. I don't have kits in mind. I have nothing in mind. I just go through every month. I'll go through my pictures, and my favorite pictures I'll print as 4x6. And then my supporting pictures I'll print as 2 3x4s on a 4x6 piece of paper. So 2 3x4s next to each other. And I print that every month. At the end of the month, I say, this is theoretical. Okay, some months I get behind and I might not do that. I might be printing 2 or 3 months at once, but I try really hard to print once a month. And then when I get my prints back, I go ahead and store them in the album where the layout is going to be eventually. Let me show you what I mean. So this is my album. I just get my albums from Hobby Lobby. This is my table of contents, which I haven't even filled out for this album very well yet. Okay, there are no completed layouts in this album right now, guys. This is like a brand new pictures that I've recently got printed. But what I've done, I've got my little date on a sticky. There are 2 3x4 pictures on this and 2 3x4 pictures on all of these. Okay, and since I have so many pictures of this little event of him frosting cupcakes, it's going to be a double page layout in my album. Okay, so I put nothing on this side because this is going to be a double page layout. Recently, I decided that I should journal on my computer what my journaling is eventually going to say on my layout so that I don't forget details. So I've been just sticking the journaling in there too. Okay, this page, for example, I have my little date sticky. It's 2 3x4 pictures. I haven't cut them apart. This one goes horizontal. This one is vertical. Okay, I have my journaling. That's just going to take 1 page. Okay, it's not a double page layout. On this side, I've got 2 4x6 pictures. It's because we were doing a major purge and clean, so we had everything in the room out, and then this is at the end. Okay, so it's going to be 2 pictures on that page. It has nothing to do with these football pictures at all, and that's fine with me. And then I have all my little journaling slid in there with it. So this just goes on and on throughout my album. Okay, that's how I store my pictures. When I create an album for one of those pages, it will just slide right back in this album in the same, you know, in the sleeve where it belongs. Let me show you an album that has some pages completed. This is what most of my albums look like. This is back when I still had postbound, okay? So as you can see, there's white paper between these pages because it came with paper in it. But there's, you know, none of these pages are completed. But then I've got this completed page and these completed pages. And then some more incomplete pages. And then as we go through here, there's just completed pages in the middle, interspersed with incomplete pages. And it doesn't bother me. Like, that's just, and these, like, they don't coordinate with each other. You know, I match the pictures to my papers, and I match this picture to my paper, and it's fine to me. I used to have a big problem with this, putting 2 things that didn't match next to each other. And then I realized, like, that's how magazines are. When you're looking in a magazine, the pages don't match each other. Like, magazines are very fluid like that. Okay, so that's how my layouts go. Some of them are complete, some of them aren't in my albums, and that's fine. As I complete more, I will move them into their back in to the album, and eventually one day the album will be complete. A lot of people ask how I get those 2 pictures, the 2 3x4 pictures onto one 4x6 photo. And in order to do that, you have to make a collage. Okay, so there are a lot of different apps you can use on your phone to make collages, such as Canva, Photosheet, Pic Collage, Project Life app, PicMonkey app. There's lots of apps that you can make collages, so you can get 2 photos on a 4x6 canvas, basically, and then print it as a 4x6 photo. I do mine in Picasa because that's the program that I have on my computer. Some of those apps, you have to pay a fee to remove their watermark. So sometimes it'll have the little watermark of the logo on there, and you'll have to pay the app fee to get rid of that watermark if it bothers you. When I am making collages on my phone, I do use the Project Life app because it's very easy. It's already set up with a 4x6 picture, and you just drop your pictures in it. So if there's an occasional time that I'm making collages on my phone, I typically use the Project Life app to do that. I get a lot of questions, where do I print my photos? And I print all of my photos at Nations Photo Lab. I do not print at home. I don't have the patience. So I print at Nations Photo Lab. I wait for a sale. They have sales all the time on prints. It's not the cheapest place to print, but I really love the prints. I've tried printing the same like set of 10 pictures at multiple different places. Like I did MPix, I think Walgreens, Walmart, back in the day Costco, but I know that doesn't exist anymore, and Nations. And I got all the prints back and set them side by side and compared them. And the ones that I liked the look of the best was Nations Photo Lab. Other ones, they weren't as sharp, or they had like a green tint or a weird red tint, like the color just wasn't right. So Nations Photo Lab, I do not get them color corrected. I make sure I leave off the color correction because I want them to print the color that I edited them to. My journaling strips. You guys, I cannot tell you how many times I have been asked in videos where I get my journaling strips, which is that little piece that I usually throw out at the end of my video, and I say, I'm gonna put my journaling right there. And I just do it like a place marker. This is so dirty, I need to make a new one. You guys, this is a piece of tape with little strips of paper that I just made to be a template for my journaling. So I don't actually journal on this. They don't sell this anywhere. It's just a template I made to use in my videos because I don't like putting all my journaling on my pictures in my videos because sometimes it's more personal information. So this little thing right here is just a template that I use. I use the same one every single time over and over. And I'll say, I'm gonna put my journaling right there. And then when I do go to journal, I type my journaling on the computer, I print it out, I cut it into strips, and then I glue it, usually where I say I want to glue it. So that is the ever asked question about my journaling strips. Let's see. The gold mist. I get a lot of questions about gold mist. Let me see if I can grab it. Okay, guys. Gold mist. There was the gold mists that everyone loved maybe 5 years ago or more than 5 years ago. They have been discontinued, so they don't even sell these anymore. The Heidi Swap Color Shine Gold and the Jen Hadfield Gold Mist. They were awesome. They were amazing. Everyone loved them. I was sad when they got rid of them. Thankfully, just recently, within the past 6 months, Tim Holtz has put out a distress spritz that is just like, seriously, it looks just like the gold mist. It mists the same. It's literally the same. And this is called Fossilized Amber, which you will recognize as being a name of one of his ink colors. But this is the perfect match for these gold mists that we used to get years ago. Okay, so if anyone needs a gold mist, I suggest the Distress Spritz. It works very well. If you don't want to use mist though, you can kind of create your own gold mist using metallic acrylic paint watered down with a little water. It's not quite the same effect, but it's pretty close to the same effect. So there's always, you know, those little tubes of like the generic acrylic paints with just a little watered down. You might want to test the consistency by splattering it, you know, with a brush to see if it makes the splatters. Okay, my trimmer. I use the Caterpillar Crop. It is fairly expensive. I'll link this in the description of the video. I'll put an affiliate link in there. I love my Caterpillar Crop. There's a little light that turns on. It cuts up against this metal piece, and the blade does not ever need to be replaced, which is basically almost what sold me on this trimmer until I put a piece of paper in and trimmed it, and it was like cutting through it like a hot knife cutting through warm butter. It was so smooth and so nice. So between the way it cut and the fact that I don't ever have to replace the blade, I was completely sold on this cutter. And there's one really awesome thing and then one not so awesome thing about this trimmer. So let me show you. The best part is you can cut the tiniest little bit off the edge. Like that's teeny and it's just perfect. So if something's just a little bit off, you can just cut the tiniest little bit. The only bad part about this trimmer, you cannot gut a piece of paper. So I can't come in here and cut just the middle out of this paper. So I keep my handy dandy old-fashioned Fiskars cutter to gut papers. You'll often see me pulling that out in videos because it just doesn't work on this trimmer. But this is the trimmer that I love. If I ever have to buy another trimmer, I will buy this one as well. And I got the crop size, which is smaller. There's a full size one that's 12 inches wide, but it's just a little too big and bulky for me. So I like this one. Okay, my favorite adhesives. So my most favorite adhesive is my ATG glider gun with my ATG refills. I do not believe they make the pink one anymore. It's like, I don't know why everyone gets rid of all the good stuff, but they don't make this anymore. Although I have looked on Amazon and you can buy, because these were originally for photo framing, like matting, like photo framing, like what they do at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. So you can buy the yellow or the red one, and this is, I use the 1/4 inch tape. So as long as you're getting the one that fits the 1/4 inch tape, that's good. Again, they're a little bit expensive, the initial investment, but I get the tape refills, I believe, from the Tape Jungle. My friend puts in and buys them for a whole bunch of us, and we all pay her back. So our refills are super cheap. I want to say like $1.25 a roll or something, and they're like 25 yards long. I love it. Okay, Art Glitter Glue is one of my favorite glues. I really like it. You have to buy this little tip separate from it. It's to make it just be very fine, teeny tiny gluing tip, and it works really well on little tiny things, especially like cut files or that you're backing a cut file. This gets in those tiny little lines really nice. So I love my Art Glitter Glue. It dries clear. Okay, my next adhesive that I go to a lot is Eileen's Tacky Glue. I literally get it from the Dollar Tree. It works great for gluing wood or fabric or ribbons, anything that's porous like that. Oh, guys, this is a nail polish holder. That's what I use to keep my glues upside down. I'll link those from Amazon in this video as well. I also love Glossy Accents by Ranger. It works really well for gluing on heavy things like charms or metal pieces or, you know, anything heavy. And it's glossy accents, so you can also use it like a embellishment. It almost looks like water droplets if you just put a little bit, or you can coat embellishments with it and it gives it a shine when it dries. Okay. Oh, and one more thing that I really love for adhesive is my Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher. It's just the cutest little staples ever. So I love that one too. Okay, I recently also had some questions about people watching my videos and wanting to see still pictures, you know, longer than just the little still picture that I put at the end of my video. And I can tell you right now that if you go to our website at notjustforboyskitclub.com, underneath every single kit are all the pictures of all the layouts that I made process videos for and all the layouts that our design team designed for those kits. So we keep them on there even once they sell out. You just have to search the name or just go scrolling through retired kits and you'll eventually find what you're looking for. And all of the pictures of all of the layouts are in there. I'm going to pull out some more layouts to look at while I'm talking. We also have a Not Just for Boys Kit Club community Facebook group on Facebook, which I will also link in the description. And I make an album for every single kit in there, and all of my pictures go in there, all of our design team's pictures go in there, and if any community members make layouts with our kits, they're also in there. So it's really easy to find still pictures of all of the layouts that I make process videos for. If you do not know, we have a subscription to Not Just for Boys Kit Club currently. I will link that in the description of this video as well, but basically what it is what it's called. If you sign up, you can sign up to subscribe to the Limitless kit or the Essentials kit or the paper add-on or any combination of those, and you will automatically get billed on the 25th of every month, and then we will start shipping your kit on the 5th of the following month. So like, for instance, you'll get billed on the 25th of February and your kit will ship on the 5th of March. We release all our products on the 1st of the month, so you can go in on the 1st and add any add-on items that you want to add to your subscription, and it will not charge you any additional shipping fees if you use your subscriber free shipping code. Each month, I also create a color palette for each month's kit where I kind of pull colors from that kit and create a visual, and it's posted on our Facebook group. And I do this so that you can have a little assistance in picking out colors for your photos that you're going to use, or coordinating solid cardstock or mixed media colors. It's just like a little tool that I designed to help you coordinate colors with your kit. Speaking of colors, I am also a fan of Distress Oxide ink pads and Nuvo drops and various mists. So each month I will pull those products from my own stash and take a picture of them so you can pull similar or the same products out of your stash. Maybe you already have some of those colors. We also oftentimes carry some of those colors on our website. So yeah, I just do that to help you get ready. I know it's very helpful to know what ink colors match the kit. So that's why I do that. And I also go over those colors in each of my unboxing videos each month. I also make a little color palette card in my unboxing video each month. So you get a little thank you card with your kit with me and Paul's little picture on it. And on the back, this is blank when you get it every month, these hexagons. And every month I pull the colors that I think are the 6 most prominent colors in that month's kit. And I always pull them from Tim Holtz Distress Oxide inks. I stamp a sample of them, I write the name, and I store this with my kit. And that helps me pull pictures, mixed media, cardstock, other things that match that kit that I might need over time. So that is the color palette card. So in general, guys, I store my whole entire stash as kits. Even if I just buy a couple of new things from scrapbook.com or Cherry on Top or something, I might just get like 2 papers and a pack of embellishments. They might not even be from the same collection. And maybe I'll pull a couple of other things that are sitting on my desk that I bought the last month that I never matched up with a kit. And I will put them in a Ziploc bag, a big, 13 by 13 Ziploc bag, and store them as a kit. I store my whole entire stash like that. I don't typically put alphabets in them or cardstock, but I'll put all the embellishments and pattern papers and stuff like that, and I keep it all as a kit, and then I work from those kits. So you saw earlier how I store all of my printed photos in my photo albums, and what I will do every month is take all the papers from a kit and lay them out across my table, like up here. So I've got all the papers and the color scheme go in there, and then I'll open my album down across here, and I'll just flip through pages and say, oh, these pictures look like they match it, and I'll pull them out and store them with my kit. And every month when I do my unboxing, I show you all the photos that I'm using that month with that month's kit. So for instance, January's kit has all these papers. Okay, so I had put all these papers out on my desk. I put an album in front of it, and then I went and I pulled sets of pictures that I want to use. And I store all of these sets of pictures right in these little clear envelopes. I'll link those in the description there from Amazon. They're not very expensive. I also store my embellishment pieces in these little envelopes while I'm working with my kit in these little clear envelopes, and I store my stamp sets in them as well. I take all my stamp sets out of the manufacturer's packaging because I can't stand opening up crinkly paper when I'm using stamps, so I store my stamps in there as well. So that is how I pick pictures and start working with my kit. After I make all 8 of my layouts each month, I typically make a style, well, I started doing it in 2025. I started making a style your scraps video where I just take out all of my scraps and I just make little embellishments or things that, are a little bit more completed than just a bag of die cuts, so that I'm ready to just throw them on a layout the next time I'm working with that kit. So I really am enjoying making that style your scraps video every month, showing how to use up the last little bits and pieces of your kit, because sometimes it's tough to use up the last little scraps but there might be a lot of things left. So I make that video at the end of the month, and then after that I will make a wrap-up video at the end of every month, and I show all the layouts I made with that month's kit. I show all the little goodies that I made with my Style Your Scraps video, and yeah, that's what I put in my wrap-up video. So let me see. I get a lot of questions about double pagers and wanting more double pagers, and I've already told you that it is difficult for me to create double pagers because I am so much more comfortable making single page layouts. So I'm going to tell you some ways to turn my single page process videos into inspiration for double page layouts. I'm just going to flip through this album. This is an old one from 2017. So I made these pages quite a while ago. To make a double page, to make my single page inspiration videos work with double page scrapbooking, you have a couple of options. First of all, you could maybe pretend like I made this single page layout for a video. You can easily stretch the design over 2 pages. I'm just using this as an example because it happens to be what I opened in this album right now. But you could easily just almost double the whole thing, like mirror image it or just copy the whole thing again. Another thing you could do is maybe take it and flip it, instead of mirror imaging it, this one's almost like mirror image. You could flip it and just flip the design on its side or upside down or something like that. So that's another way that you can kind of stretch that page. I already told you you could use a collage for the other side. As you can see, these don't even match each other at all. It does not bother me. So I already told, another option is to, of course, use a Project Lifestyle page protector with just the little openings and just slide pictures in them. Then you don't even have to scrapbook the second side. So you could just make a single page layout and slide a bunch of coordinating pictures in the other side. Let's see. And lastly, you know, it's really easy from most of my process videos, since they're all made with the same supplies, like you could just put one page next to another page, because like this is a great example. It's the same set of supplies. This is the same collection that I used on this side, or the same kit. Like I used the same ribbon on both sides, and I didn't make these like as a double page layout. I made one side and then I made another side, and they were just using the same supplies. So again, that just happened to open up there. So yeah, just the fact that everything is coming from the same kit. Again, this was not created together, but it's the same line on both sides. These were not just for boys. These were just, you know, pages that I liked, but, or collections that I liked. But yeah, you can always do that. So there are a few more things that, you know, I think people ask me, but I think I might make some separate videos. Like, for instance, the letter tiles that I often create, the little tiny letter tiles that I use stamps to create. But I think I'm going to start adding in some really simple, short videos showing techniques like that, so that you don't have to watch through a whole video like this introduction video for a long time to just pull out a really simple technique. So I think that I will make some shorter videos over the next few months of that kind of stuff that I get asked. I also want to make a video and show you, because I think people like to see, I'll show you how I store all of my little Not Just for Boys kits as I'm working with them in a little rolling cart next to my filming table. So I think I'll be making a little quick video like that soon too. But I think I answered most of the questions that I get most commonly asked here in this video today. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. And make sure you check the description, because I have lots of links and stuff in the description of lots of the stuff I talked about today. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing to our channel, and I will see you in a few days with another process video. Bye!